Hey guys, and welcome to my channel, and to someone who's been here before, welcome back to my channel. So for this build, I am making a small cabin. I recently downloaded the Outdoor Retreat expansion pack, as well as the Get Together expansion pack, I think it's called. And there was a lot of new textures and items and stuff, and I just got inspired to make this little cabin. And I'm making it in the, the new city that came with the Outdoor Retreat one, the vacation one. I don't remember its name, sorry. But yes, I'm building the cabin there because it was so beautiful. There are mountains in the background. There are all these trees. It's so idyllic, and I just thought this would be perfect to make like a little cabin, a little getaway vacation home place. So I was inspired to make a little wooden cabin that would be perfect for two young lovers or two old lovers, or just a couple who wants to get away from everything and just enjoy nature and enjoy being together. So that is what I'm doing with this build. And since I'm focusing on the nature and togetherness aspect, there are not that many electronics in the house. There's not a TV and there's not a radio. It is all just plain and just room for like seating sections and just a fireplace and just all nice, so you can talk or you can play games. And yeah, because if I was out in a cabin and I was surrounded by so much nature, I wouldn't want to be tempted by a TV or something. So that is why I tried to avoid putting any distractions in the house. I wanted it to be very I wanted the cabin just to be a necessity, so you could just sleep there and then you'd be outside the rest of the time, and unless it was a bad day. And that's why there's a fireplace, so if it is a rainy day, you can still sit inside and have the fire going and just play some games or make some food or some soup or something. And yeah, when I was building this, I kind of wish it actually existed, because I would totally go here. I don't know, it's just so cute. And despite it being like all wood inside, it's a little bit dark here, sorry about that, but despite it being wood everywhere, I just really wanted that cozy and homey feel by having the wooden floors and the wooden paneling on the walls and just that like warmness. I kind of got like a Christmas vibe when building this, because I could just imagine having like, it was like snowy outside and had the fireplace and then you have the turkey and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it was so much, it was just so nice to build this, because I just imagined how I would like to have like a vacation home. And with the new packs, there's just so many things that, like, just small details that just help make the atmosphere that much more cozy and homey. So yeah, it was really, really fun, because I normally try to stay within, like, I try to keep my furniture as light as possible, not only in color, but I don't want to have too clunky furniture or anything. But here I could finally like release all that and just try to focus on making it homey and making it nice and just not so much modern or like, I don't even know. I just wanted to have it like homey without it being like old lady-ish. And that was just such a fun freedom to have for once, because I tried to make builds as I would live, and this one, since it's just a vacation home, there's just so much more freedom because you don't have to live here, so there are things you can just not have, and that will be fine because it's just a vacation home, so you won't be here all the time. And it was just, yeah, I mean, there's a bookcase, which is the only activity, I guess, inside, and that is, again, if it's a rainy day, then you can just curl up with a book in front of the fireplace and just relax. The only thing that kind of bummed me out with the whole Outdoor Retreat pack was the fact that you can't actually live in this new world. You can only vacation here, which kind of made me a little bit sad, because after building this, I really wanted to have like a lodge or like a ranch or something and just have my Sims live there full time. And you can't really do that. You can only live here for like 7 days at a time. And I don't understand that. And when there's finally a new world, why not be able to live here the whole time? So yeah, that was the only thing. Because also, I would love to make more builds here, but it was just, I wouldn't play with them. And also, it would be hard for people, if they downloaded it, I would normally try to make the house fit in with the surrounding nature. So often my builds are perfect for the lot, which I built them on originally. And with this one, I could imagine if you just placed this down somewhere else, in like in Newcrest or something, it would look really weird with the pine trees when there's so many other flowers and trees around. So yeah, it's kind of sad that we can't live here like full time. I really wish there was something you could do to make that happen. I mean, there's probably a mod out there that could let you live here for full time, like permanently. But I have learned from my mistakes, and that is why I really don't use custom content or mods anymore. That's because if you have that, like if you're so unlucky and you just download something that you didn't intend to, and suddenly your your toddlers just have really long arms and your kids have like no faces, and I've just like horror stories, and every kid you have is born with like these high-heeled boots, and it's just nightmares. I had to stop because it was such a hassle, because when I played The Sims 3, I had so much custom content. I only play with custom content. And then I downloaded a pack of something, and suddenly everyone was wearing these high-heeled boots, and I couldn't make them go away. So I had to shuffle through all my custom content, and I had to like look up faulty CC and stuff that could mess it up, and it just took so long to figure it out. And when I ended up finding it, it wasn't even something I downloaded. It was like something that had added on, because apparently if you download custom content, sometimes, like if you download more things at a time, sometimes stuff can sneak in that actually wasn't in the pack. I'm not quite sure how it works, but I've heard a lot of people experiencing where they download, let's say, some furniture for a living room, and then suddenly they get like a lot of other stuff that was kind of in the pack, but they didn't voluntarily download. And yeah, it's just such a hassle to go through, especially when you only play with CC, because often you just download whatever you want because there's so much freedom. But if something goes wrong, it's kind of hard. Like, unless you put everything in folders with dates and stuff, which I didn't. I was just like, oh, a new couch, I'm just gonna drag that into my folder and then have that. And that was probably the wrong way to do it, but yeah, I've learned from my mistakes. I'm probably never gonna use mods or CC again, unless maybe some mods. I think it's easier for mods to be as they are and not have something hidden inside. But still, I tried the apartment mod or something, the one you could get for The Sims 4 that made apartments work like they did in The Sims 2, where you could build like apartment complexes and then you could have families live there but not having them as your active family and stuff, because I really wanted to try that. But it was just, there were so many things, and like you had this weird thing you had to put on the wall, and it was like a telephone, but it wasn't quite. And then I gave up with that. I had to delete it again, because as much as I wanted to play like in an apartment complex and actually have neighbors, when I actually did make it work, they just constantly went into my house despite the fact that I had locked the door. They constantly found some way to get in, and then they'd be sitting on my couch eating potatoes and not potatoes, potato chips, and I couldn't get them out. And it was just, sometimes I just had to delete them because I got so angry at them. And yeah, I'm really bad at mods in CC. I mean, with CC it was pretty easy in The Sims 3 at least, because you could just like double click on them when you downloaded them and they would just be added to the game. But for Sims 4 it's a lot of like folder dragging, and yeah, I'd rather not risk having something go wrong, because I mean, when you just play The Sims 4, I mean, if you have some custom content, not the custom content, but if you have expansion packs, like I'm close to having all of them now, slowly getting there, but I mean, you could easily play with just that. There are just some things that custom content does that like original Sims 4 items don't. Like hair, for example, is my biggest, like my biggest what's it called? I don't even know. Like, at least with hair, the hair that comes in The Sims 4, I mean, it looks okay, but it's really animated, whereas you can get in CC, you can get normal hair that looks realistic. Anyways, I've been babbling along this whole time. The build is done. Here are the screenshots. And yeah, it was really fun. It's up for download in the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it using my hashtag. And if you have any questions or requests, leave them in the comments below. But that was it for this build. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching, and bye.